Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Herbert Harris, and this is Success Mentorship Class number 396. Wow, 396. And our topic for today is the power of alignment. And I'm going to make it personal, your power of alignment, that you can be aligned with your purpose, with your mission, with everything that you were put on this planet to be, to do, and to have. And when you are aligned with your mission, with your purpose, you become magnetic and attract into your life all the things that you desire. It really takes us from a chasing success, chasing prosperity, chasing abundance to attracting success, attracting prosperity, attracting abundance. Those of you joining us on Instagram and on YouTube, this is Dr. Herbert Harris, author of the 12 Universal Laws of Success. This is our Success Mastermind group. We're meeting on Zoom and we are live. I, of course, invite you to visit our website, herbertharris.com. Be sure to get a copy of our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success, and enjoy the benefits of some of the other courses and programs we have. Specifically, if you're at that point in your life where you need guidance, where you need to just sound off with somebody to get some thoughts about whether you're going in the right direction, what you need to do to change, then be sure to go to herbertharris.com and book a success consultation. So before we get started now, let us take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And in this space of peace and relaxation, I am at peace with myself. Let's affirm that together. I am at peace with myself. So let that peace sink in. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And in this state of peace and relaxation, my mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Let us affirm that together. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And so it is. All right. Today, this topic of the power of alignment is a profound one because it's a switch a little bit from what we normally think about. And it's a perspective that everything you want to be, do, and have is already there, is synced up in your consciousness. And that all you really have to do is align yourself with a certain vibration that's in you, and you become magnetic and attract into your space everything you need. There are a couple of quotes that I'd like to share with you. Ollie Anderson, who wrote a book about building flow and finding peace, he said that the path is already within you. Your life path is already within you, but sometimes it's hidden among your experiences, among the other vibrations that impact you from the outside world. Brian McGill said this: life wants to live in total alignment with true love, passion, and integrity. So the idea that life is the idea that there's an alignment that we can achieve is a profound one, because it gives us a different way of approaching success, a different way of approaching happiness, a different way of approaching how we move into life and how we live. I like to look at not only the power of alignment, it's when your mind, your body, and your spirit are in harmony. But there's another aspect of the power of alignment, and it's really about unlocking the next level of your life. And so this perspective says this, that many of us right now at all kinds of crossroads. We're in the last quarter of the year, and we're at that point in our lives where we are making decisions. Maybe what we've done to date has not excited us. Maybe we have fallen short on our goals. Maybe we're not sure we're on the right road. And so many of us have that question in our minds, like, what is the next step? What's the next level in my life? What do I do next to take me where I want to go? And so when we think about that, we're saying, maybe I'm not getting the results in my life because I'm not aligned with my true purpose, because I'm not aligned with the reason I was put here on this earth. Wow. So when we think about that, we're really saying that alignment is more important than hustle. I was listening to an interview with a couple of young men, and they were really talking about, I think the program was something like On the Grind. And the implication was that success comes from like working hard and grinding it on out. And I think a lot of us are taught that you have to grind, you have to hustle, you have to push, relentlessly. And I'll have to say that can work, but you may be pushing and hustling and grinding on the wrong road. and whenever you have this whole push, this whole grind concept, this push to like, I got to get it done, I'm going to work hard at it. If it's not aligned with your purpose, it can lead to burnout. It can lead to confusion and misdirection. And so if there's anyone listening today that are at that point where they're really working hard at it, they're pushing hard, they're like doing everything in their power. All of us, most of us are, I think, students of personal development, students of personal growth. Many of us are entrepreneurs. And when you're not getting the results that you like, the mindset is like, work harder at it, be more efficient, push harder. That if you keep working, you'll get results. But if our efforts, if our hustle, if our grind is not aligned with our purpose, we may be quietly undermining our efforts. We may be working hard on the wrong road. That's a nice analogy. You say you can be doing everything necessary for success. It's just that you're in the wrong business. You're in the wrong arena. You're in the wrong game. Remember when Michael Jordan retired from basketball that first time, he decided to go play baseball. Well, even he said it, he was a really mediocre baseball player. He played baseball in high school, but basketball was his passion. Basketball was his purpose. That was what he was aligned with. And so he never had very much success at baseball. Many times in our lives, when we're not getting the success that we think we deserve, it's time to look at, are we aligned with our purpose? Alignment is not passive, it's powerful. It means that your vision, your values, your actions, and your energy are all flowing in the same direction. I'm going to say that again. Alignment means that your vision, your values, your actions, and your energy are all flowing in the same direction. It's like having an orchestra and all the instruments are in tune. They're all reading the same music and they're all playing together. And you notice when you go to a concert hall, you know, before they start and the orchestra is tuning up, all you hear each instrument, toot, toot, bing, bing. You hear the different instruments and it's not pleasing. But the moment they're on one accord and that orchestra conductor cranks up the orchestra, my goodness, you can feel it everywhere in your bones. Well, alignment is like that. When you are aligned, success does not feel forced. It feels inevitable. I'm going to repeat that again. When you are aligned, success does not feel forced. It is inevitable. Wow. So alignment is really the silent power behind all true success. When you wonder why one person who works real hard and another person who works equally hard get different results, alignment may be the difference. So let's look at alignment. The first point, 3 points today. Point 1 is alignment of vision. You know, Proverbs says, where there's no vision, the people perish. Where you have no vision of where you want to be, of what you want to be, do, or have, you can't be effective. It's like a double-minded person. If you don't know whether you want to stand up or sit down, you don't know what to do. I guess I better lay down. I can't make a decision. Let me just check out. Let me take a nap. And so the idea of whether you're an entrepreneur in your personal life, clarity is critical. As a matter of fact, clarity is the currency of success. I'm going to say that again. Clarity is the currency of success. If you're not clear about your goals, if you're not clear about what you want to be, do, and have, success will not come to you. You must align your goals, your personal goals, your business goals, your life goals with your true mission. One of the questions I think we need to ask ourselves is, what am I doing in my life that aligns me with my vision and my values? Am I just chasing money or am I building meaning? Am I just chasing money? You know, many of us who are entrepreneurs or network marketers, we get so hyped up about a 6-figure income, a 7-figure income, and making money. But is that really what it's all about? Maybe that's why I'm not having the success I think I deserve, because my dream is not big enough. Maybe I should be thinking about building meaning. And that's why one of the things I want to dwell on for a moment is your why. Because if your why is not clear, then your vision will not be clear. And your why is that core reason behind your actions. Your why is the reason you get up in the morning. Your why is the reason you go to practice. You know, I often compare like Michael Jordan with the young man who played with the Philadelphia basketball team. And one of the things that he said, Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan would be the first one in the gym in the morning and the last one to leave. Allen Iverson never liked to practice. He was an incredible talent, but he never liked to practice. And so when you think about that, your why is really, when you ask that question, am I just chasing money or am I creating value? So Allen created a team that never won a championship because that was not something that people needed to emulate, where Michael, I think, won 6 championships. So this idea of your why is critical. So the question often comes up, how do I determine my why? And I'm going to give some pointers on that, because this why is what helps you find your purpose. This why is what helps you align with all that you need to be aligned with to create the life you desire. First, reflect on what inspires you. You know, what lights you up? What they say rings your bell? What activities can you lose track of time? I'm a reader. You know, that was my sport in high school, was a reader. I was a championship reader. Okay. And when I start reading, I get locked into it. And I'll look up and like, oh my goodness, 3 hours have gone by. And, you know, I get so into what I'm reading and what I'm studying that I'll forget the time. I want to get to the end. I want to complete it. So think about the books or people or experiences that constantly stir something deep inside. You know, many of us are musicians at heart, and we look back and we had a chance to make music and to do great things, but, you know, life and family and stuff like that kept you from doing it. But it always rings that bell. I mean, you want to sing along, you know you have some talent. Well, look at the things that inspire you, that make your heart flutter, because there lies your why. Identify your core values. In other words, what do you hold sacred? Honesty is key. Now, there are people that honesty is not a core value, and they'll do anything to get anything. The issue is, though, whatever you create always comes from the essence of what it is. If it's a bad apple, then you're just going to create more bad apples. So what's important to you? Is it freedom, creativity, service, growth? I know for me, the two most important things are freedom and creativity. And that when I have that sense of freedom, it's like freedom to be creative. So much of what I do in my life is to create the time space to be free to create. So what's really important? What are your core values? Because when you focus on your core values, it resonates with your purpose. So many of us, as I said, are entrepreneurs. And so we may think we're chasing money. But when we look at our core values, maybe I really want freedom and independence. Mm-hmm. And so now when I look at my business, my activities through that lens, I can get excited about that, because now I can visualize my freedom. It's hard to visualize money, but it's easy to visualize what your life would be like if you had the freedom of time to spend time. Freedom may mean the time to spend with your kids, with your family, to take the family on a trip, to just see the wonder when your kids look and they see the Grand Canyon, they go like, oh my God, Grandpa, look at that, look at that. Look at some of your turning points in life. You know, life always leaves clues. And so reflect on some of the challenges and some of those defining moments in life. And what lessons keep showing up? What lessons keep showing up? All of us, sometimes we have the lesson that keeps showing up is the lesson that says you're trying to do too much. Some of us, the lesson that shows up says you need to hang in there. You could have won. All you need to do is go one more blow, go one more round, and you would have won. You would have won. You know? To look at those things that show up over and over and over, and then take direction from that. And then finally, that last piece of your why is, what impact do you want to make? You were created for a purpose. And so what impact do you want to make that says, I was here, I lived, I helped someone, I trained someone, I gave people hope? Whatever it is, what problem do you want to solve in the world? So the thought is to put some time into your why. And those listening today on YouTube and on in our mastermind group, to really put some time into your why. What's really that driving thing inside? that once you're clear on your why, then your vision now can be aligned with your why. And now, the moment your vision is aligned with your why, with your spirit, with your soul, the world starts to conspire to support you. You see, one of the things, the last tip on the why statement is when you focus just on your why, don't worry about the how. That's what the universe does. That's what the God mind does. If you understand why you have to learn the skill, why you have to bring this message to others, why you have to share your message. Joyce is on our call, and Joyce teaches people how to live with raw foods. That may be something that can change your life. And so your why centers around that mission of how you impact the world. Once your why is clear, then you can have such clarity about your vision that you can be aligned with it. Second point, alignment of actions. Are your habits supporting your goals? A young contractor I know is a roofing contractor. He's done a few roofs for me, a good man. But his actions don't support his goals. You know, with such talent, you know, he's had people have believed in him, and they've helped him finance trucks so that he could have the trucks and all the equipment to really expand his business. But he had a habit that undermined everything that people tried to do for him. He was a drinker. He'd work hard, do a good job, and then that Friday he'd drink that beer. I think he drinks beer. And boy, when he drinks 2 or 3 cans of beer, his whole personality changes. He'll say things to you to say, don't come back to my house ever again. And so the question, are any of your habits, are any of your actions undermining the realization of your goals? You know, we can be working in quicksand. You know, when you're working in quicksand, you're like doing a lot of stuff, but getting nowhere. And so the idea now is, are your daily actions supportive of your vision? Or do they contradict your vision? If your daily actions, your daily method of operation does not support your vision, you'll be stuck. Are you spending your best energy on income-producing activities? If you're an entrepreneur, are you focusing on income-producing activities or just busy work? In your personal lives, are you focusing on being a better person? Are you focusing on being a better spouse, on being a better person, a better friend, a better teacher? You ask yourself, are you showing up consistently or just when you're inspired? Someone once said that the great ones, the champions, are those who practice when it hurts, are those who practice every day with consistency, are those who go beyond what everybody else will do. If you wait for inspiration, you may never get it done. I was sharing with Herman when we were talking about when Herman was getting ready to write his first book that as a writer, the one thing you can control is your time. You may not control inspiration, but you can control your time. And so as a writer, I say, sit there, whatever your schedule is, you commit yourself, I'll give the time. If I put in the time, that's like priming the universal pump. The inspiration will come. I just got to stay faithful and keep doing it. So when as a writer, I say, if you're going to write 3 hours a day, then set your time, and for 3 hours, you be there at the computer or at your pad, whatever your medium is, without fail, consistently. And then the inspiration will come. Alignment means that your calendar reflects your calling. You see, time is that one equalizer that we all have the same amount of time each day. And so how we utilize that time makes all the difference. And so your calendar, the listing of things that you are committed to do and when you are committed to do them should reflect your calling, should reflect your purpose. Because once you do that, you create a harmonic vibration that attracts it into your life. You don't get what you want necessarily, but you always get what you align your habits to. You don't get what you want necessarily, but you always get what you align your habits to. Point 3, alignment of energy. You see, success feels better when you know it's authentic. There are people who are successful, but who are insecure that they didn't really do it, who are insecure that they don't really have what it takes. I mean, I've seen people who have achieved great success, but yet they're insecure. In the book of Luke, it says the kingdom of God is within you, and that's the vibration. That vibration, the universal vibration of creation is within you. So that energy is aligning your work with how you feel while you're doing what you do. Many of us force ourselves to do something we really don't like doing, to achieve a particular outcome. I know as an entrepreneur, sometimes you have to make those calls. As a parent, sometimes you have to make that call. Many times there are things you really don't want to do. But what you find is that when you don't have to force yourself to do the things that you do in your daily repertoire, that's a good key that you're aligned. If you're forcing yourself to market yourself in ways you feel fake, if you force yourself to kowtow to other people's programs, then you're not going to be aligned with your energy. And that energy, that relationship will drain you. I know as a coach, there's some clients that I have to really be prayed up because their issues have a tendency to drain my energy. And I know that many of you have experienced the same thing. If you're around people who drain your energy, they're undermining your capacity for alignment and therefore undermining your potential for success. But when your energy is aligned with your purpose, people feel it. When your energy is aligned with your purpose, you become magnetic, attracting into your life everything you need. You've seen it, man. Everybody says everybody loves a successful person. Yes, they do. But what is it? Their energy is aligned with their purpose. And you can feel it. You can see it. You want to be around them. You want to be a part of whatever they're doing. When your energy is aligned with your purpose, that's when, what they call it, synchronicity. When people show up that are just the person you want to hear from. When the person that calls is just the person you need to talk to. When events happen where you walk in the door and they go like, oh, wow, you're the 1 millionth person. You get all the prizes. See, this energy thing is powerful because when you can create a harmonic relationship with your energy nature, you literally become magnetic and you attract success into your life. You attract the things that you want. Your time and your effort, when they're harmonic and working on one accord, wow, nothing is impossible. So I challenge you to, on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, what energizes you? When you look back at the day and said, the things that energized me about the day were A, B, C, and D. What drains you? Once you identify those things, you can make those adjustments now. Stay away from what drains you. Focus on what energizes you. Once again, you're in alignment with your purpose. So let's wrap up this talk today. I hope it was beneficial, and I hope that you see something inside this message that can help you move where you need to be. Because in the final analysis, alignment unlocks everything you want. Alignment unlocks happiness. Alignment unlocks abundance. Alignment unlocks positive relationships. So you were not born to hustle endlessly. You were born to create with purpose. When your thoughts, when your values, when your vision, when your habits are aligned, you don't have to chase success. Success will chase you. It's very interesting when you can create that success vibration by being aligned in every aspect of vision, action, energy, intention. Nothing is impossible. So realign your vision. Know where you're really going and why. Realign your habits. Are your habits supporting your vision and your goals? If they're not, change your habits. Realign your energy. Be authentic. Be self-motivated. Be self-generated. Surround yourself with people of like mind and like vibration so that you can take advantage of the mastermind process where 1 + 1 is more than 2. When you can do this, just watch the breakthroughs unfold. Talk about magic. Talk about miracles. All of these things will come unto you. Always knowing that you can be what you want to be, that you can do what you want to do, that you can have anything you desire. Always knowing that the best is yet to come. So it is. Let's just take a deep breath for a moment. Let it out. Thank you so much for being with us today. This is Dr. Herbert Harris, and it's always my honor to serve you and to bring a message to you that I hope will transform you and help you be, do, and have all that you desire. I invite you to visit our website, ℏ_harris.com. Get a copy of our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success, and schedule a success consultation so that you and I can talk, and maybe we can be of assistance to help you move to the next level in your life. That's www.ℏharris.com. So thank you so much on Instagram for joining us today. Thank you on YouTube for joining us today. And those on the Zoom, the mastermind group, I can't wait. I know we have some powerful stuff to share. So let me close out our broadcast so we can talk to one another.